Okay.
Hey!
Yeah. Welcome back, guys.
Hey! Week 2 of
Billboard Hits in movies.
Billboard hit theme songs in movies.
That became really popular. That's why they're Billboard Hits.
Something like that.
.com.
It's either the song was popular and it helped the movie, or the movie made the song popular.
Yeah.
Either way. Okay. So we got in quite a few this week.
We did. Kind of like last
good.
week also. So is it the weather or is it the weekends where we had some
I
time
had a
to
couple
just
days off work, I think, because of snow days.
movie after movie?
And then, so we got it done.
Yeah.
We got her done this week.
I think we have a pretty decent lineup this week.
I do too.
Both
a good mix.
in movie and in songs.
So the first one is a favorite of our girls. It is The Princess Diaries 2, Royal Engagement from 2004. And actually, we watched the first one again. We rewatched the first one before watching the second one. So, yeah.
I would say the first one was okay.
Only okay. First one was good.
I can't remember what I rated it, but the way I feel right now,
The way I feel
it's
right
all right.
now.
Yeah.
Um.
I don't think they had to make another one.
Okay, so in the first one, Anne Hathaway's character finds out she is a princess of a country. She's set to be the next queen. She's not sure she wants that job because it's a lot, and she's a lot, but in a different way.
She was a nerdy, a good student, nerdy. It had the traits of the She's All That movie, where it was a nerdy artsy girl who kind of kept to herself. And then when she found out that she had some royal lineage, then they fancied her up, and obviously she looks completely different.
They being her grandmother, who's the queen.
Yeah.
Of Genovia.
I think the choice of Genovia was a pretty well named country. It makes it sound real.
Yeah.
Real and silly at the same time.
So then in the second one, she goes to Genovia to kind of see what it would be like to be the queen, and she realizes that is indeed what she wants to do. So then it shows a battle between her and this other heir that wants to be king. And of course, there's a love story.
What?
I know, right?
Didn't see that one coming. As usual.
So it's cute. The first one is better than the second one.
Yep.
Of course. But I like the cutesiness of the second one. I like the little love story. I think it was well told.
It is a little bit like Princess Switch in that, the concept of the original one was pretty good, and then the rest of them were just
Remakes.
a little bit underneath the original as usual. That's kind of typical for sequels.
Yeah. I think Anne Hathaway did a really good job, though. I like her acting. I think she does a decent job.
Yeah.
So, the acting was on par. There was nothing wrong with the acting. It was well done.
Better than, was it Amanda Hudgens? I think she did a better job than Amanda Hudgens in her Princess Switch movies.
Oh, in the Princess Switch, yeah.
I think that's her name.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, would you rate Princess Diaries 2 Royal Engagement?
Solid 6.5. You rated a 6
7.5. I give it a 7.5.
A whole thumb.
I thought it was a whole thumb. I thought it was cute. I've seen it before, of course, so this was not my first time watching it, but I enjoy watching it. I think it's cute.
Yeah.
So that was the Royal Engagement, Princess Diaries 2 from 2004. The next one is Rocky from 1976. We went back before we were born.
This is one of my favorite ones, and Bill Conti scored this film, I think, flawlessly. It captures a lot of different emotions in the song. I just think this is a brilliant film altogether because you see Rocky in his humble beginnings, and there's a classic scene in there or a really powerful scene in there where he is staring at himself in the mirror, and he picks up a childhood photo of himself, and he looks at it, and then switches back and forth between his own reflection and a childhood photo, thinking, what have I done in my life is almost the feel that I get from it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of somber music in there and very, timeless, inspirational music.
I forgot to mention the song for our first movie.
Oh, no, what was it?
So the song in the first movie was Breakaway by Kelly Clarkson, which was a U.S. number 6.
Kelly Clarkson was an American Idol. Wasn't she the first American Idol?
I think so, yeah.
There you go.
And I just read a thing that she's worth $50 million.
Wow.
That's a lot.
It's pretty crazy after going on a national talent show.
Yeah. Okay. So then Rocky's song was Gonna Fly Now by Bill Conti, which is a U.S. number 1.
I mean, it's got the iconic stair climbing scene during the training montage that I think everybody knows about, or at least knows the reference to the movie, understands the reference to the movie. So it complements the rest of the soundtrack in the film, I think.
Yeah. Rocky's a lot of fun to watch. I think Stallone is an excellent actor.
He's really good. Yeah.
He can play the part of just kind of a bonehead boxer really well. He makes him look super talented, even though he's kind of,
and he's got a big heart, right?
Slower.
They really portrayed that in the movie, and
Yeah.
I think it was in the second film when he was trying to do commercials to earn a living after fighting. He said that he had a relaxed brain, which I think is
I love that.
I've never heard that term before, and I think he pretty much coined it right there.
Yeah.
And it's very fitting for his character.
And having seen Stallone in other roles, I mean, he did an amazing job. He did an amazing job portraying this character and making you feel what he felt and really get the sense of his struggles and his, how he wanted to be something but didn't really know how.
And Carl Weathers, who played Apollo, is, another excellent character in this film who obviously presents with him the underdog challenge.
Yeah.
And, Rocky's goal, he was met with some a mentality of defeat right before the fight to see if he could even do this. And it added a lot to the movie. I really, really love this movie.
Yeah. We've seen it hundreds of times.
Lots of times.
Probably. So it's always fun to go back and watch it. And it seems like even though we've seen it 100 or more times, we picked up something new every time.
Always.
There was something you caught that you had never caught before. I forget what it was. But you're like, I never caught that before. And we watched it 100 or more times.
I can't remember what it was. Was it the original or was it the second one?
I don't know.
Was
I remember, I guess. We kind of did watch 2 in a row.
Was it when he walked out of the pet shop with food and didn't pay for it? Or was it...
No, it was... No, I don't remember. But there was something
Adrian?
and you're like, I never picked... Yes, it had to do with Adrian.
It did have to do with Adrian? Oh, man.
I forget what it was, though.
What do you think of Adrian?
I think she fits Rocky's character very well.
Yeah. And I think
they both have relaxed brains.
She's very much an
I don't
introvert.
think she does, though. I think that is her thing. She's just very introverted and very, I guess, socially awkward.
Yeah.
Would be the best way of describing her. But they fit perfectly together. I don't know that she would have fit with someone other than Rocky's type of character.
True. Yeah. In one of their movies, Rocky refers to both of them as they fill each other's gaps.
Yeah.
He has gaps. She has gaps. Together we fill gaps.
And that's cute.
One of my favorite quotes. And despite her quiet personality, there are a couple times where she
kicks butt.
She gives her piece of wisdom, which are often really good pieces of wisdom that Rocky needed to hear at the time.
Tells her brother a thing or two too at one point. I mean, gets in his face face, and I
I'm
don't
not
owe
a
you
loser.
nothing. I owe you nothing.
Yeah, because Paulie is
His character. I couldn't stand his character.
he's a drag. They really made him both a detestable and lovable character at the same time.
More
because-
detestable than lovable. There's nothing about him I loved. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I would do without him altogether.
Yeah, he was just a drunk and felt entitled and always, I don't know. He was entitled is probably a very fitting.
Entitled, but not worth it.
He never went out to do good for himself.
Yeah.
Always looking to get from somebody else.
So, what would you rate this great classic movie?
Oh, 10, solid 10.
I would give it a 9.5 because Polly is that half.
Poor Paulie.
Yeah, I just can't. He drives me nuts.
He lost half a thumb.
But very, very good movie. We definitely rank it right up there. It's the best of all of the Rockies, but they're all really good. This is one series where they just are all worth watching. They're all really good. Even the last one.
Yeah.
Stallone. Or what is it? Just
Rocky
Balboa, yeah.
Because I think each film did, the first four kind of had the same formula where he had a big fight in the end. But they all captured different phases of his life and career really well.
Yeah. And different talents that he had to face.
And his family relationships.
Yeah.
Really, really good. And the soundtrack, really the music for all of the movies, really well done.
Yes. All right, so that was Rocky from 1976.
We like that one.
We do. The next one is Ferris Bueller's Day Off
We
from
like this one too.
1986. So this is 10 years later and another iconic favorite of ours.
Why is it iconic?
Because Ferris.
And
Bueller
and Fry.
Bueller.
I think like Ghostbusters, there are so many quotable lines
Yes.
in this movie.
Oh, and we catch ourselves quoting them all the time, just randomly.
Yeah.
All the time.
My coworkers oftentimes have no idea when I reference older movies, from this time. And some of them are from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And there's...
We wanted to watch this one so bad, we went ahead and purchased it.
That's right. Now we can watch it anytime.
Now we have it for life.
Finally, many, many, many years later, we finally own the movie. We did not even have the Walmart bin version of this movie in DVD.
Surprisingly,
or VHF.
no.
Yeah.
I don't know why we never got this movie, but they had it $4?
Yeah.
Something like that on Amazon Prime for
so
owning the whole movie. So
ours, and we can pass it on to our children.
Actually, our 14-year-old, it's one of his favorites. He loves watching this movie.
It's really good, yeah.
It is PG-13, so if you have younger than 13, watch it first because there is some language and some inappropriate
some
scenage.
kissing, making out, even some innuendos.
Yeah, so your discretion, what you allow your kids to watch, but it's good.
It's really
a lot
good.
of fun.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Every character brings their. Every character really had a purpose. Rooney and his secretary, the try.
Her and her millions of pencils she pulls out of her.
Yeah. Yeah, she is always pulling out a pencil. That's true.
But in the one scene, she's pulling pencil out after pencil. How does she have that many pencils in her hair?
Never caught that. that she was doing that. That's funny. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna notice it now that you mention it.
Yeah. So, hilarious movie. Definitely a coming-of-age movie, trying to figure out, do I have a purpose? What am I going to do after high school? Where is my life going?
And
kind of questions.
Different when you compare it to, let's say, Breakfast Club or St. Elmo's Fire, and that it seems like in those movies they're dealing with some kind of struggle. Mm-hmm. And it's got a little bit more somber tone. But
this is struggle. Cameron's struggling.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Cameron's got to
So this
deal
has
with his parents.
very different personalities going on and then mixing very well together. So Ferris has a very strong, persistent character. Sloane has kind of a, sure, if it's fun, I'm going along with it kind of personality.
I'd say out of the three, she probably had the the smallest role of the three. She more complemented Ferris's character.
And then Cameron was the everything's negative, everything's sad, disastrous, sickly.
And unfortunately, family life at home was not a good environment for him. So that was kind of his struggle. Whereas Ferris took advantage of his parents without them knowing.
Probably shouldn't have, because they seemed pretty easygoing, and
but
so he went over the top with them.
But that's why Jeannie was important, because she was because she was that counterbalance to Ferris.
She was annoying.
She was kind of annoying, I think.
And Charlie Sheen's character.
Oh man, that seemed like
they did a great job with his makeup.
A perfect fit for him. Did they do makeup, or was he already high?
Purple. Well, I mean, I don't think he was really high. They just
obvious,
made him look high.
Yeah, it's so bad. I mean, even though he only had literally 5 minutes of fame with Jeannie, it's a pretty funny scene.
It was funny. Yeah.
What's your favorite scene in the movie? There's a lot to choose from.
There is. I like the beginning where Ferris is getting all ready and getting hyped up and excited. In the shower with his mohawk.
They made a big deal out of that. They were able to elaborate on his simple morning skipping school routine.
Yep. It was pretty funny. I enjoy it. So.
I like the chase scene at the end where he's trying to beat Jeannie
home. Oh, that is funny. Yeah.
And a lot of the songs in this film were just, I think they're all pretty memorable.
They are good.
Yeah.
So our song is Twist and Shout by the Beatles, which was a world Billboard hit number 2. So worldwide, not just U.S.
And then followed another famous singer, Wayne Newton, when he sang Dankeschön.
Oh, yeah. I don't know that one, it wasn't listed as a Billboard hit.
Which is crazy, because that's such a popular song.
It is, but
Beatles were pretty big, too.
Maybe in Germany it made the Billboard hits.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, good movie. What do you rate it?
Oh, man. 9.5.
I agree.
I don't know. I guess I could give it a 10, but I feel like giving 2 10s in a row
is not right.
It's not right. But
it's your opinion, though.
It's true. Each movie stands on its own.
We just happen to watch 2 really good ones in a row.
10. I give it a 10. It really is good.
It is good. 9.5 to a 10, I would say. Yes.
You can rewatch it so many times.
And it's hilarious every single time. It doesn't get old.
Especially the kicks when Jeannie kicked Rooney in the face.
Yeah. And his leg getting chewed up by a dog.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Really good.
Okay, so that was Ferris Bueller's Day Off from 1986. Then the next one is Disney's Cars from 2006.
See, this has a lot. We had a really good lineup.
We did. We had quite the mix.
I think this is where Disney was, extending its golden age a little. What year did you say?
2006.
2006.
I know. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
Already? Wow.
Yeah. That was 18 years ago.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
But it's good. So it's about a race car that has to find himself, basically.
Pretty much. And he is a arrogant rookie racer who has certainly garnered lots of fame at this point in his career.
And he kind of had to be rubbed into the dirt to realize that there is bigger things in life than just
racing
being a cocky
and winning.
Kind of jerky car.
So there's a lot of great characters in this movie. I think one of my favorites is Doc, who
Mater.
Mater top.
Mater
That was
is my favorite.
He was also in my head because it's Larry the Cable Guy.
I just love his little hick accent.
Oh yeah.
And his tooth.
I like their
Mater's tooth.
We have. I don't know if I don't think it's a junkyard, but it's some kind of parts place.
Some kind of parts where you can go and buy car parts or something, and they have
Mater. They got
Mater and Cars and the plane.
Yes.
So they have Lightning McQueen. They have Mater, and they have I forget what the plane is called.
I can't, but it might have been from Disney's Planes.
Disney's
right?
Planes.
Yeah.
So it's really fun. And they used to have it where you could go and sit in it and get a picture, but it got vandalized.
Too bad.
The cars got vandalized. And so now they keep them locked up and they have cameras on them. So if you go there to get pictures, they're watching you. And if you touch the car, they send police out there. So it's unfortunate that vandals changed, your ability
nice.
to be able to sit in the cars.
Yeah.
But they are painted and decorated just like Lightning McQueen and Mater and the plane.
And they are pretty close to the side of the highway, so you can see them pretty easily.
Yeah, you can see them from the main highway, which is really fun.
Yeah. What else did you like? I like racing movies. I've seen, Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise. I think either Drive or Driven with Sylvester Stallone, and I think one of the Hemsworth brothers. Talladega Nights.
One thing I like about this movie is that it highlights Route 66. So since we live in Missouri, right off of Route 66, it's kind of fun to see Lightning McQueen kind of take the route of Route 66 through Arizona and through the whole area where it is, through the desert and all of his struggles with all of that.
Which, speaking of the desert area where there's a lot of mountains, if you pay close attention, I think this was really creative on Disney's part that they were shaped like the back ends of cars.
Yeah.
Which is just a nice touch to the movie.
Yeah. Disney did a great job with this movie, I think. I think they did really good.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the sound design as well with just, the sound of race cars is just really, really cool.
It is.
Like the sound of jets from Maverick. They captured that really well.
This one would have been a cool one to see in the theaters.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think even, the sequel to this was just one sequel, Cars 2.
I think so, yeah. And then they did the Planes one after that.
It was that one was good also, but there's a lot of relationships, with the Porsche.
And there's a love story.
Yeah,
the love story with the girl Porsche.
And,
she's a pretty little blue thing.
Oh, I also like the tire guys.
The
Italians.
I love the car, the souped up car. The one that plays all the music and the lights and all of that.
Oh, that drug it's yeah, the one with hydraulics and stuff.
That's a lot of fun.
I guess that was your stereotypical done out Mexican car, right? Kind of like in Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah. Yep.
His Pedro's brothers had the hydraulics on the cars.
Yep.
And I think one of my favorite scenes is when, Luigi's, they had the little guy, they got to be the pit crew for Lightning at the end, and they changed out all his tires and made the jaws drop off or I guess their front grills drop off, the other pit crews.
Yeah.
Because he changed it so fast.
It was funny.
Yeah.
Cute movie.
Good movie. A lot of good life lessons.
Yeah. So to our ratings, I would probably give it, for a kids movie, I would give it 8.5 out of 10.
I would give it a 9. This is entertaining for the whole family for sure.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right. So the song for this movie is "Life Is a Highway" by Rascal Flatts. It's a U.S. number 7 hit.
Everybody knows that one.
Life is a highway.
That's the only lyric I know, though.
I could sing a good portion of it, but all right. The next movie is Encanto from 2021. This had a couple songs in it.
Oh, really? Okay.
We Don't Talk About Bruno by Carolina Gayton, Mauro Castillo, Adasa, and a bunch of other people. And then Surface Pressure by Jessica Darrow.
I think that We Don't Talk About Bruno was played so much it became really annoying because that was the only song that everybody would sing.
And that became a U.S. number 1 hit because of the movie. So it was not known before. It may have even been written specifically for the movie, but it became a U.S. number 1. And then the Surface Pressure was, why am I blanking on the sister's name, but the big strong one.
Oh, the one that she was, yes.
Yes. That one was her song. She sings that one. And That's by Jessica Darrow. It made it to number 8.
Okay.
U.S. number 8.
They,
Louisa.
Yeah. I don't know if unfortunately is the right word, but they are both extremely catchy.
They are. They are.
I don't know
It's stuck
what
in
it
your head
is.
forever.
Both the melody and the rhythm of it. So they did a good job in that sense.
Yeah, they did.
Even though I've found that we don't talk about Bruno to get a little annoying after a while.
After a while. So this movie is about a family who is kind of magical. The grandmother had some struggles in her life and was in exchange given this. She wasn't given the power, but she was given this candle that gives power to her family to kind of help increase their family and highlight their family.
And to help out
in a
the
way,
community, I guess.
Yeah, to build their family back up in the community because of the struggles that they dealt with.
And it was her responsibility to try to keep the candle
lit. If the candle goes out, it was supposed to snuff out the magic.
Which I noticed that she kept it on the windowsill, which I feel like if you don't want it to go out, you'd keep it away from.
There was something with the house being magical, though. So the house in itself,
it was animated,
worked to protect it. Yeah. But one of the granddaughters did not receive a power when she was the coming of age, and that was Maribel, right?
Yeah.
Is that her name? Yeah, Maribel. And so it was the movie was kind of a story about her trying to figure out why and what her purpose in the family was then if she didn't have any of these secret powers. But it ended up being that she was kind of the framework that kept the whole family together.
She was the glue for, I can't word it any better than she already put. Yeah.
So it's a really, really cute movie. Of course, there's some spiritual-y aspects of it. So if you don't like that kind of thing, then it maybe wouldn't be a great movie for you to watch. But if you can get past that and just enjoy it for what it is, then it's really good. It's a lot of fun to watch. The different family members with their talents it was kind of fun to watch how they all work together and how their interests, just their personalities kind of built what their magic power was going to be. So. Yeah,
they came up with some pretty, Disney came up with some pretty interesting abilities, if you will. Yeah. They were not the typical, they're not superpower abilities with, except for the super strength of Louisa, I guess, but the rest of them more magnified their personality rather than gave them some kind of superpower, for lack of a better word.
Yeah. So he is holding our new foster kitty.
Yep.
Scotty.
Scotty, yeah.
Super cute little dude. He is rambunctious and spunky.
Take a good look at him.
Are local and you're interested in a kitty, Scotty will be available next week.
Look over there.
For adoption. He is cute, cute, cute. He's almost heavy enough to be adoptable, and he likes to bite your toes and face and stuff. But Encanto is very good. What would you rate? I would probably give it a 7.5 out of 10.
I would give it a 7 also. It didn't have the same kind of entertainment value for me like Cars does, or maybe some other Disney films. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's the story, but I do like the music and some of the different cultural aspect of it, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. Is it supposed to be Cuban? There were
I think
a little bit some darker skinned folks in there.
Yeah. I think it is.
Yeah.
So fun to watch. That was Encanto from 2021.
Yeah.
Then the last one, a completely different style of movie, Pearl Harbor from 2001. Can't believe it's already 23 years old, this movie.
Yeah, we have a mix of movies over the years this week.
Yep. So Pearl Harbor, of course, is about Japan bombing Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, the surprise.
And then our retaliation.
Yep.
So of course it's a fictional version of the history that happened, but it's
Almost.
it's crazy to see all the death and all of the destruction and all of the
I feel like this has the love aspect of Titanic in this historical context, along with some of the brutality that you would see in Saving Private Ryan.
yes
The way war is depicted. And it is a long movie.
long movie.
I noticed that this was directed by Michael Bay. I really can't name any of his other films by name because I don't know directors, but I know he's one of the prominent ones. But I like Ben Affleck and Josh Hartnett. Josh Hartnett also played in Black Hawk Down, which I really, really like.
Yeah.
And this movie was gifted to me either VHS or DVD, I can't remember, by one of my cousins. And I didn't have the appreciation for it then when I was a teenager, but after watching it just a couple nights ago, I think it's an excellent movie.
It is. It's really well done. I like the relationships that they built between all the characters.
Yeah.
Because as the movie is playing out, all the destruction and sadness and death, you can really feel what they were feeling about their friends as their friends were dying, and different struggles and different things going on. And it highlights one of the nurses in the Air Force. I think she was an Air Force nurse.
Yeah, I think so.
But it highlights her struggles. She had a relationship with one of the guys, and then he was declared dead because his plane went down and never found. And so his best friend starts watching after her, and they fall for each other. But then he comes back, and he wasn't dead. And so then there's that love triangle struggle between the three of them.
Much like there was less of a love triangle in Castaway, but it was a similar situation where the people back home they mourned,
They moved on,
mourned
and
the
moved
death.
on.
So how many times does that happen? Almost never. So you can't. It's really, really hard to put yourself in those folks' shoes and go through what they did. But
Yeah.
a lot of brutality in this movie for sure. When you see how the hospitals were overwhelmed and the nurses were overwhelmed, and they had to make some really tough decisions as to who to treat.
Yeah. True triage situation.
Yeah.
And marking them with lipstick because they had nothing else to mark them with.
Yeah.
Who gets treated and who's prayed over and left to die.
Yep.
Which is a very sad thing to have to. I mean, the priest was out there just all these bodies around him as he's praying them into eternity.
Yeah. And I do like the fighter plane. All the dogfighting scenes are actually pretty well done.
They are.
And it you see the resilience of the United States during that time and the tough decisions that the president was faced with at the time. There's a lot of different phases to this movie.
And the soldiers that agreed to go without even knowing where they were going or what they were up against. They knew it was a death command. Like they were going into their death. And the likeliness of them coming back was very little. But they went willingly anyway to protect their country, which is amazing.
Strong. Yeah, there are some strong, patriotism in parts of this movie. I really like it.
Very well done movie. As Scotty eats your face. Scotty, you're on camera, man. Behave yourself.
Ooh, paws smell like litter. That's gross.
He's like, covering his face now. Embarrassed. Anyway, I would probably give it a 9 out of 10.
I would also give it a solid 9. I would say it is pretty rewatchable, but you just have to set aside time for it because it is a long movie.
Yeah.
Long movie, but I think it's paced pretty well so that it doesn't feel like a drag.
Yes, absolutely.
They just put it all together pretty well so that...
Well done.
Yeah.
Well produced movie.
Like Titanic. Even Titanic was long. It's pretty well paced.
Yes. So the song for this one is There You'll Be by Faith Hill, which was a U.S. number 10 hit.
She was country, right?
Yeah.
I can't even think of the song.
Yeah, Faith Hill, Tim McGraw are a married couple.
Oh, okay. I didn't listen to pop music much back then either. Pop much music?
Pop much music? Anyway, so that was our last one. Pearl Harbor was our last one.
What do you think,
So a good mix of movies this time. Lots that we rate way up there. So
good lineup.
Definitely a good movie viewing week this week. So check out some of those movies if you haven't. Definitely the ones we rated 9 and 10 out of 10. Those are definitely worth the time devoted to watch them.
For sure.
Comment, let us know if you've seen those movies, if you agree with our ratings, what you would rate them. If you haven't seen them, jump on and watch them and then tell us what you think. Like, subscribe, and ding the dinger.
Ding the dinger, guys.
All right, guys. See you on Tuesday for our